embrace the opportunity of each new day that comes. And thank you for allowing us to step into with confidence and allowing us to build upon the bridges and the kingdom that you are setting the foundations for. It's like nothing else. Being the observatory, sitting in the place of the observatory while you do the work. There truly is nothing more marvelous than the life lived at its finest, and that is with your grace, Lord. So we seek your grace. Thank you for allowing us to come together only by that power. And thank you for all good things that you add as long as we have you. And then your one holy divine Son, Jesus' name. God, Father, we praise you, Jesus. Amen. So it is. All right. Another day, another channel episode. And just like the title says, growing stronger in the faith, your skyrocket. I mean, your skyrocket. Your skyrocket's in flight. Here we go. I'm gonna afternoon to like, well, it is practically afternoon. But no, serious on a serious note. Growing stronger in the faith, your confidence will skyrocket. Preserve your life with Lifewave. And I don't choose to promote what I strongly believe in every single day. And some might look at that as funny or odd, but you got to kind of look at the culture as well and the algorithms and the dealings with, on our platform here. But anyway, I am Alan. Welcome to the channel, Alan. Uh, get my own channel name. It's a religion. I mean, it's not a religion. It's a relationship, not a religion. So once again, from the top, Alan hyphen. It's a relationship, not a religion. Now it does say Alan Petty, but YouTube. Oh, thank you for your platform. YouTube is telling me I've got to wait 9 or 8 more days before I'm able to change it. They don't like doing that. I guess it messes with their algorithms too much because I already changed it previously within the first couple days before that. And anywho, I was wanting to do a good. I was wanting to do a really good episode today. Didn't have to be long. I was just recently agreeing with myself because I give good content and I add in what my daily life activities and my experiences are, and I share. And this is what I recommend that anyone do this. Um, it's kind of a form of therapy in the true sense, but then also it's doing God's work because we're actually sharing the way He intended, and that's all your beliefs, your uninhibited thoughts, your uncensored philosophies on life, and therefore 2 or 3 can come together in His name in a witness, and it is so. And also 2 or 3 can come together against someone else to reprove that brother or sister, or to bring them into the light if they happen to have a false doctrine or just a false belief or something that might need a little correction, for lack of a better way of putting it. Um, I I tell you what, let's go ahead and get the breathing exercise done. We got the good prayer to Jesus out of the way. Um, you know how it goes. Uncross your fingers, uncross your toes, uncross your arms, uncross your legs, wiggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, shake it out, take a couple quick breaths. I get cricks in my neck, and it's like I have to be able to get it out, so you have to do like that. You might get a lot of pressure and tension built up in your traps as well, in like the back of my neck. Um, but better and better, bigger and better every day. If you got your breaths in, you've got your lungs expanded out, then stretched out, then we can go ahead and proceed and follow along. It's just amazing what that does for me. And it's like better and better every day. And it's like 100% better after I'm doing it. The next minute and a half after I'm done, I feel that much better. Just feel more aligned, more in the groove with where your chakras are, where your energy is, and centered in your being. This is the important thing. Um, I guess if there's anything missing to my day to day today, it's that I did not go on my walk today, and that's because you already probably know this. I did not go on my walk. I had plasma donation opportunity, so I went. And this time I showed up before 8, and I decided I probably should have got this podcast in earlier. Um, and it would have been really, really energetic though, because after I donate plasma, let's see, like my metabolism goes through the roof. And then on top of that, I wait till after I donate plasma to have my green smoothie, my power smoothie. It's got all kinds of fruits and vegetables, all organic in it, um, as well as hemp seed. Hemp seed is really, really good for you if you don't know that, physically and mentally and emotionally. So if I had done that earlier, yeah, I probably would have been taking too many breaks because I already had at least 3, if not 4 bathroom breaks since I came back from donating plasma, and that was hours ago. But I decided to watch the Michael Jaco podcast, hour and 44 minutes long as it was. And that's always a fun trip. That guy, man, he is a character. I love Michael Jaco. Um, yeah, he probably doesn't even know. I'm probably a pissant to him. 35th of the subscribers he has, but he's been doing a little bit longer than I kind of followed in his footsteps. But I started with Rumble. He started with YouTube and then went to Rumble. Soon after he did, I went to Rumble, and then of course, noticing what we noticed and tuned in to what he was putting out. Rumble was kind of treating people different. I've kind of noticed that too. Although now I'm able to share with them, so all good things, on all good platforms. So more power to it. Um, Whatever happened was in the past with that. I don't even know. It's probably concerning other how their algorithm affected other videos and people at large, a consensus. You know how it goes with these platforms. So I am just in it to win it. I mean, I tell you what, growing stronger in the faith, your confidence will skyrocket, and this increases your light, your body's natural aura, your infrared spectrum that goes out beyond what you think it does. Generally, people think it only goes out 3 to 5 feet, or 3 to 6 feet, or 3 to 8 feet. And in fact, you can have an effect like all the way out to the front of your house in the street, and like even if you're like moving, it depends on how centered you are in this conclave. If this compound belongs to the Lord, you're just going to see that light go everywhere. It's amazing. I got a little friend here. Bear with me. I'm back. Here we go. Just had to go in there. Ooh, get the the little guy's food out of the fridge and give to him. 'Cause I don't leave anything out around the house. I don't want any bugs or anything to get to it like that. It's just kind of a small place, but I keep it clean. But if you don't stay up on those things like that, yeah, it is Florida. It's inevitable. You Floridians know just what I'm talking about. If there's any watching, that is. Most people I notice are watching from India, which I mean makes practical sense, but also Bangladesh. Um, and everyone is in a younger age group that's watching me, which is amazing too. So that tells me that Lifewave is working. I'm a 48-year-old man. Um, Here I am catering to the 25 to 34 age group. And, like I often say, I am biologically 33, if not younger, because I believe that age is regressing using the LifeWave patches. And I'm glad I got back to using them, because periodically I would do this for short stints and then I would learn my lesson, right? Like I'm much better off on them. And because your energy, focus, and drive, determination, everything, mentally, emotionally, physically, every faculty of your being is just up regulated, enhanced, because your stem cells are upregulated, because it affects the stem cells in your upper skin cells. And those healing modalities and just everyday life living practical modalities, for your living, as it were. I don't like boring with medical jargon, are just upregulated, are enhanced, are optimized, and you find the practical means to do what you got to do, and to think on your feet. And that's what that's what I believe I was in the military for. So you can get a clean God-loving lifestyle first is the foundation we should all aim for. I go to Yeshua every morning and in the evening, throughout my day even, and I just ask for his grace. This is the most important step. Faith is what you're going to build the empire that is God's kingdom. Okay. If you think you're doing it for yourself, you got another thing coming. And those of us in the world that believe this way, you just don't know yet. So, I mean, that's the definition of ignorance. And I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not saying that anyone is ignorant or this or that, but that's just what it means. You don't know. And that's okay too. I don't know some things, but I know the most important root of all things. So that will lead me intuitively through where God leads me. And he does lead me beside still waters and through the dark valley. And it's just amazing to me. You know, I see more and more every day. Um, Today I got on the ball and applied for a couple positions at this place across the street where I donate plasma. And that would be remarkable if I could, in fact, work there and donate plasma. And, you know, I wouldn't have to worry about, oh, you know, during the course of my day while working, I'm only making this much, or have to worry about this bill and that, because it's like between 55 and $105 each time I donate. And I get to do that twice a week. And then let alone, you know, overtime and these good things. So hopefully, I mean, I would hope they would have me working in the back, but I love working with people. So you know, I could actually do the phlebotomist position as well as um, the check-in person. That's the check-in person is the one that takes the vitality stats. There's a different name for it. I was just looking at the website for on Indeed for Kedrion or Ked Plus. Why is my screen fading? Oh, I don't see you. What just happened? I swear to God. Let's try this again. Oh my God. Hey, I'm still here. I didn't curse God's name, but I just got a little excited there. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. It's like if you already turned off the setting so that it doesn't, so your screen doesn't fade, really makes one wonder. You know, I could give you a really an exciting background. I could you see all kinds of things I could do in this restream setup. That's the thing, though. It's never reactive enough or soon enough on the mobile device here. I need to get a PC. That'll be the next big plan after I have a stream of income. You know, you know. Let's see what else. I could choose one of these backgrounds. I wonder if it'll just like kick me out or something stupid. I don't know. This one kind of matches my shirt, so I was thinking, yeah, we'll do that. Or I could do a nice mountain view in the back, or all white background. I don't know. I'm not getting too tied up on little things. I like to change things around, and let's see if this will show if it works. I don't see a background change. I don't think you do either, or maybe you do, and it's just not showing on mine. It's probably not good quality though, since I'm on a mobile device. I don't know. That's all right. We'll just take that off. We'll just go back to my surroundings here. Got my Lifewave set up here. My Lifewave display. I think it says it backwards. Right now though. Yep, those top two X39 and X49 patches are the premier. At least start with X39 because it's the most comprehensive patch, guys. It's going to give you that unlimited power, that drive and determination, and just energy throughout the day. Um, all these good things, and then it also helps you to perform physically and helps you to recover. And all of these things are have a specific function in each of the other patches, such as for X49, that's for more of your physical side of your life. So performance, recuperation, healing, and all good things. But the most comprehensive one being X39. Right, those are those top two ones, X39, X49. And then you've got Silent Nights, the ones I'm using in Eon, which is Eon is part of the YH line series. And that eliminates all inflammation in the body and silent nights so you can get your solid sleep and uninterrupted. And it's doing me more miracles than I can even start with because like I tell you about this just about all the time on the channel, right? And I just, for lack of a better way of putting it, I can't help but think of where this life is headed. Like, sky's the limit. As soon as like, and I know it's just a matter of time. As patient a person as I am, um, yeah, I get conservative and I stop using what the best things are for me because I want to have them when I go to order my next order because I'm about due to go and order some X39 patches. And since the metabolism is so high, I really do need to here momentarily step back into the restroom. I will put on the be right back sign, as funny as it sounds. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me. And we're going to overcome this one thing at a time here. So, be right back. Here we go. There we go. Be right back. Seems like you guys. Thank you for patience. Be there too. Okay. Thanks. Waiting up. Thank you for waiting up. Hey, Kaya. My lady cat over there. Yeah, what's that? And I dropped out my live. And okay, here we go. Of course, every button on there has got to drop down the menu because the screen was touched. Oh my lord. Now where am I? This is so fun. Such a fun challenge. Okay, there's the backgrounds. I don't want those. That's too far. Take off the be right back screen. I hope. Yep, there we go. Magnificent. I'm gonna stand it upright. I probably perform a little bit better. And I'm just happy too because now I can get this out to Rumble. Um, it's like I could have been building with Rumble all this time, but I think the last 4 or 5 podcasts, or the last 4 or 5 days, it wouldn't allow me. I think they were correcting something though. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. And we carry forward. We carry on. What else? Well, just reflecting that if you don't have connections for a long time in your life and you didn't believe in social media like I didn't, and I only just started a few days ago, really, because streaming platforms are one thing, but social media is kind of like, interactive, texting. Um, it's amazing the if you put yourself out there the right way, um, and God sees to it that the good people are out there, the good ones that'll come. And there was one that came, and I think, well, I think because she's an officer, she's a little bit higher class than me, societally. I don't know how to put it the right way, but she's still talking to me, and it's like, okay, you have some kind of good impression. has some kind of good magnetism, right? Charisma and just good God-centered core, it reflects to other people. And it's amazing what goes around the world comes around that way. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is have no fear. Have no fear, of course. But if you have not been of use of certain things like that, it is kind of a useful tool, at least if you're on the right, straight, and narrow path, at least if you're of the light. Because I almost got taken down a couple other detours that I'm glad I didn't. And I guess I'll just say that much, leave the rest to your imagination. Um, I didn't lose too much financially, and I won't again as a result. And that's just entitled ones. And you don't know, and you're faithful, you're full of faith, and you'll go forward and everything like that. And it's like someone else won't do anything for you. It's just you learn what people are really about. And it also opens up a can within yourself of discernment. It tops off that discernment. Like if you're already a discerning person, the devil's going to keep attacking. The world's going to keep coming. He ain't stopping. So sometimes some of us we have to learn that way, and it's called the school of hard knocks. But I'm not complaining. Um, we find out what we need to find out and carry on amicably, and we thank God for His grace. We send the Lord all our what is it? No, how does it go? We thank the Lord for listening and send Him all our love. Because at the end of the day, who else are you guaranteed to have? Who else are you guaranteed to have? Nothing is a guarantee in this life. So it's a good thing He comes from within. I'll say that much. Uh, and I just feel so awesome today. It's the start of another week of challenges. I'm sure obstacles. But I had another blessing. I got to pick up the Posturepedic mattress yesterday that I've been passing for a week on my daily walk routine nearby my house. I wouldn't be able to carry it all the way home. And I was glad I finally got a hold of um, Terry, one of my previous neighbors, real good friend, and put it on top of her car, and she hauled it over here. We left it outside overnight, and then I let it dry out or whatever as it stood up. Brought out a can of Lysol this morning and kind of sprayed off where it was in the dew because it was clean otherwise. It's like a perfect, almost perfectly brand new Posturepedic mattress. You could just tell where like mold was starting to grow because it was sitting out there in the grass, but no big deal, and that's something you take care of. And mold is very volatile, like lifespan wise, so you don't have to worry about it as long as you nip it in the bud. I've dealt with it all my life in Florida, no less, the humid state. So, um, where was I going with this? I'm going somewhere with this, and so faith is going to skyrocket your confidence. It's just you got to make sure you seek His grace out. Like I could start reading Bible passages, verses, and just be direct like that, but I feel like there's already those that do that, and I just want to have my own personal style, coming from the Lord's perspective, of course, because the Lord's in all of us. Um, and I pray that it helps each and every one of you, as mine is helping myself. And I recommend that you guys do this too. Like I said, this isn't a leader follower thing, but the algorithm calls them followers. And it's something anyone can do. Just go through the setting parameters. I would watch YouTube channels that actually educate you on the best ones for the quickest route to, I guess, monetization, or just to make sure that you're getting out there for more views. Um, Primarily, secondarily, that comes later down the road, monetization. But the important thing is that you're putting the right foot forward first, and that you have the right set of goals, and that the motivation is in the right place. That's what I found, and that's why I'm glad I started with Rumble to kind of go through my rough draft episodes. Um, Now I'm going up to an hour, and it's just easy flow, like because I've been doing it a little while. So that's what I mean. Like, don't quit. Like, always keep going in an endeavor that you have even a minutia or somewhat of a passion for. And this is my passion. I love communicating. I'd love to do it in more ways. I've done it in many ways before, but it was more like robotic because I was stuck in the 9 to 5, the matrix lifestyle. And I guess that just it didn't speak to my heart. I was coming down. I felt like felt like I was just in this metal dome or just my own box, right? And you can only do these things. And it's not like you try to get away with things or anything like that, but golly, like, is that living? I don't think so. Like, hats tipped off to the ones out there, living free. Um, yeah, I've done physical labor, and I would be glad to go back to do that in a heartbeat. I'll probably be doing that here real shortly, as a phlebotomist or a second specialist for head plasma. I could see myself doing that because the pay is right, and then of course, like I said, being able to donate plasma at the end of the day while I'm there. This little guy is not going to get the best of us. Hold on, he's got separation anxiety. Come here, separation anxiety. No, come here. Come on. Yeah, it's like you don't want to be held, but then your head off. Yeah. Oh, it's the little guy. The little guy. I showed him the other day. I call him Garfunkel. I used to call him Garfield or Garfunkenstein. But ever since he was a little bit younger, he would come over here. He was about 7 months of age, if not 8 months, when we first got introduced, and then we just hit it off. Like no other cat kind of really liked that, other than my darling Kaya that I adopted from their refugee camp. As they're called. They're not called refugee camps. They're called. I can't think of the term right now. Anyway, but and her brother Bentley that passed almost a year ago, that I buried just on the other side of the block in the open lot. Um, so that's what my life's based on. I don't like. I guess I've made it a programming choice of mine mentally to not want to share like my screen to show like news and stuff like some other people will do. And I don't know, I feel like there's some real big events that are coming on, and this is the most pinnacle part of history that we'll ever imagine. Up from now up until July 3rd, July 4th, because that'll be the 249th birthday of America. And there's some other great prophetic things that are kind of stamped through history. That if you look at time cycles, okay, you could follow Bo Polney on this. Sounds just like a person last name Bo Polney. It's just amazing. And he's on Nino's Corner quite often. I watched his latest one last night, and I believe he's got his own channel if you want to look him up. Anyway, it's about setting the right priority before any substitutes in life, and they're called substitutes for a reason. You make the main thing, and you will shine through to the other side, and God will reach back out with open arms and return your love. And it's in the form of things that you need to go forward in and things that He wants for your life. That's the bare bottom brass best way that I could put it. As long as you ask for His grace, He's not going to disappoint you, and He can't lie. Lying, there's more connotations to the word lying than just the apparent. What I mean is, lie can mean how you live, lie can mean how you're not, like, if there's just simply not that you're doing anything wrong, just simply not doing something that God has put on your path to do. That can be a minor sense of lie. Just whatever is not truth. Truth is the perfect programming way that life goes forward. Now, not to say anything's not meant to be, and not to say you're not in the right place you're meant to be or anything like that. But it is kind of like termed that way in the Bible. So that it is universal in that sense, but it's not universal in the sense that it mirrors how you look at yourself. That's the great thing about the Bible, because that's Jesus, and it actually reads you. So that's what I mean from that mirroring perspective. We get it so twisted and think that we have it all together ourselves, that our self-righteousness can just power through any day or any obstacle, right? Um, Jesus had a different definition for being an overcomer. And we kind of have to take a moment to step back and just take a breath and kind of pace ourselves and receive, because it's not as deep as we all tend to want to make things. And we get so bent out of shape if one little thing doesn't go wrong, whether it's in family life. I see it all around me every day, or quite often. But and it's just a matter of being in alignment. Like, as long as you have good people you're in alignment with, like, they're not going to interfere with you, because you have a mutual respect for that perfect self-will that the individual has with our Lord and Savior, right? And God the Father. So if you get too tied up, with, I guess you want to call them relationships, they're not real relationships if you can get too tied up with them. Does that make sense? Right? So the good things are the good things, and we keep those good things. And we also want to give credit where credit's due. People are all trying. Like, on the other side of this thing, you can't, like, break people down. You can't, like, rush people's perspective. Like, you got to be supportive of everyone else, even if they're not seemingly on the right track, because we're planting seeds. If you don't all know that, and the Lord is going to come back around to water that. And if you're not doing what His plan is calling for, then He's going to notice that, and He's going to see you for what that is in you. He's going to see you for what you are. So if you don't got anything good to say, leave well enough alone. Don't say it. Simple as that. And that's being a good. That's a victory. A small victory is a victory, right? We look for these victories in life, and ah we get better at not getting entangled, is what I'm trying to say, in the nets of life and the dramas and the repercussions thereof, and pushbacks and all sorts of manner of things. So seek His grace when it becomes. See, like, I'm getting a little bit out of breath right now. Here I am, 32 minutes in, and I'm fine, but I've said what yeah, I feel like I've said what I needed to put out there. And this little guy is gonna, you go back down? I don't know. We'll hit you with a split you. Okay. And I feel mighty fine. So yeah, I might just make this a short one, but I don't know. It's because when I go an hour, I always have, like, some kind of breakthrough or major insight, even um, towards the end or closer, and then I can wind down from there. I've noticed is the patterning that occurs, at least with me, you know. But I hope that you guys can do that too, and then see for yourself that you can put your passion in, and that will relieve a lot of anxiety or hangups you have about what you're achieving or accomplishing in life, right? Because I don't necessarily believe in just pushing to push. You're wading through heavy water to reach a goal that you're just told is there, and it's not. Nothing's guaranteed, right? So you got to follow the heart in that sense of the word heartstrings. Now, heart can be a mighty deceptive thing, as part of the instruments that God puts in you, because it can get corrupted. So what do you have to do when that happens? Well, sometimes you got to just break down. And that does mean emotionally, and it might feel like physically when you do that, mentally too, because obviously your whole perspective's got to change if God's got to change something, right? So that your mission in life that you want to fulfill for Him, because naturally you love the Father because the Father loves you. See, that's my true spiritual father. And many people don't have people in life, and I've gone over this a million times, and this is what it is. So there's the true love relationship that comes from the true author of relationships, by the way, and the author of the universe. Here's to you, Yeshua. Praise God. God be praised. And all love to Jesus. And oh man, just it's so many things to be thankful for. That's the other thing. You can look at your day and look at the things that you enjoy during your day and not have to worry because you didn't do them yet, because you're working with God. It's like a team effort, and you're juxtaposing this for that and making sure you have that for before this, and then coming back to do that later, and it's actually a little bit more entertaining, or you get a little value. It's like a timing that God will place on your life too, because maybe He has you out there for a reason. Yesterday, I went out and found a whole bunch of food in a nice big wicker basket. I'll actually show you here. It's got some of my crystals in it now, but look how this is a nice basket. It's really sturdy, and got another little like rectangular shaped basket as well. Um, I can find. Oh, that's anyway. It doesn't matter that much. It's just kind of nice to have nice new things, in case I need some baskets for decor or just to hold things around the house. And a bunch of cans of soup and a couple bags of lentils, and I make great soups. I make all kinds of great concoctions, with the outreach food that I get, because me and that friend of mine, Terry, we will visit those outreach, whether it's a church or just an outreach place, Second Harvest Church, and then the one in Castleberry. Not that that's relevant. Um, but I guess the moral of that story is use the resources and all the resources. That doesn't mean hoard and save everything that you come across, you know, um, but why pass up a perfectly good opportunity if it comes along? So yeah, just like a little donation stand that this little business had, where she's obviously got a good heart and wants to give to people in need, and I give to people too. So if I can't use it, that's what's going to become of it too. You know, uh, I've got a bunch of I've got so much food like saved up, like pantry. Like I feel rich because of that, and I don't have to have a lot of money. I got what I need, and I can pay my bills because I donate plasma. See, the simple lifestyle. It's like the simple simplicity in life, right? And I also like I like to say, retard maxing. Like, don't get too deep. Like, if you want to follow a corporate career, as long as it's on your heart, I'm not trying to pull on your heartstrings to say no, but maybe just kind of step aside and examine, is this, look to the future. Is this where I'm going to be? Is this how my heart is going to feel like is the best place for me at that point? Like, because by then you could have been doing something you enjoyed or had a rather good passion for. So it's about keeping eyes open. I've had my experiences many times. This will come across to you because we learn for ourselves, right? That it's not so much the thing for me, because you've done a few things in that sales category, such as in my instance. And you take these things as wins, and they're small victories. You might not be earning that regular income you were, but then again, if it was reduced like mine was, because they had to make um, company revisions, right? Meaning, yeah, the lead was being paid $50 an hour, where we were reduced to like 18.50, and sales were a joke. Excuse me for saying sales were perfect crap. And it was the time of the year for that too. And then it's like the people, okay, and then there's other guys there that, and I don't care if they didn't get fired or anything or let go, like me and two other people did, because there were only five of us in there. And then let go three of us, like, what the heck? And I was bleed. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, that guy, and I have nothing against him. I have the utmost respect for him, right? But it's like he wasn't getting anything like that either. So it's kind of an age discrimination untold, because he was an older gentleman, you know, and that's fine. If that's the way the owner, the big boss, Courtney, decided to look at it, they even wanted me to come back there. And I just left it open ended, because you already reduced my pay. You call me the lead, and then no one's getting sales, and then you let us go just because you feel like you got to do what you got to do. Me and Brenda, we were talking about her. She is the queen, we called her. She sat right next to me, and she just sent me a chat like, I didn't respond back to them either. Did you? Or something like that. And it's like, yeah, it's like, so yeah, that's going back to January though. And it's been, it hasn't seemed like the longest time since, but it's because life is a whole lot brighter and better. See, the outlook is there because I'm not eating up 8 hours a day plus 2.5 because of the drive time. And it's like that's more than half of your freaking day is gone to this thing that you're substituting for whatever a passion could be in your life. Whether either you're doing it for the Lord or you're doing it for ends meeting, right? And you know what I mean by ends meeting. We know the definition of ends, okay? They have these dead presidents on them. They're pretty likenesses, and they have this green tinge, and they feel like slimy or just dirty. These bills. Anyway, um, I'm not a big believer in banks either. So this kind of work hand in hand is kind of why the decision, that I made to be about it this way went that way, because like you can do one thing and say another, and you can feel like you're doing the right thing, but really the other thing is over here. So that's how deceptive, this world can be. And I just pray that you'll find the grace to learn through your intuition, through your circumstances, and by your experiences, that you find what's right for you, and that I find what's going to be right for me. And far be it from me to say or to tell anyone else, this is what you should do. Trust me, of the biggest understanding that we are all totally different. If there's anyone that's gone through life and noticed this, I'm probably of a handful of people like that. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I know I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. To know that you know that you know is to know thyself. And to know thyself even greater is the biggest gift you can allow yourself to receive through God's grace. I think that's putting it most succinctly. I've never put it as well before. And it just brings joy. And that's kind of the confirmation that one needs going, forward in order to seek things out and to make sure that the right things, um, because there's so many waterfalls you can fall down in this life. And it's funny too, looking back, because you don't think like the circumstances as non-evident as they were, like for me, how looking back, how God was forming you, how you were being molded by the Lord, and what you're going to be today, and just how you're approaching life, and just because of the clientele, because of the culture we live in today, there are probably others like me that just saw the world for how it was. Yeah, maybe there were some. Um, Let me think of the right word for you to use for you. Bear with me. Um, yeah, might have been minor psychedelics used, but I believe that's part of the valuetainment of God's college course of life. I do. I mean, I can't help it. I know that certain things should not be abused, and that's perfectly understandable. Believe you me. Um, like I said in past 5 or 6 ones ago, it was about, I guess, over 9 weeks now that I stopped using the old cannabis. I got off the self medication, and it's just worked wonders for me. I would recommend that if you are to stop using that. Get in this seat of God right here. This is the throne where God resides. As long as you don't temper it, and as long as you don't alter your course as a result of corrupting it, because I could just be mad at myself and I'm not. And that's again God's grace. Thank you for it, Lord. You know, I'm my own worst enemy, and I was growing up. It was kind of in my sign. It really was. I would find out. I guess I really wish there was better. We all wanted better upbringing. We all wanted better, little this, little better. Oh, my parent could have done that and stuff like that. We shouldn't like fall on our laurels there, because we should honor our father and mother. I'm a firm believer in that. But you can look back and you can see little nuances and peccadillos, and you can think, okay, God winks, and you don't have to worry about that anymore, because God, everything is meant to be and has had a purpose, and is still having a purpose running its course in your life. Believe it or not. No, you don't have to subscribe to Ripley's. But it's like, why do people why do people try to try to manipulate, try to be controlling of others, or try to make sure that their emotion is the only one heard and their mindset is the only one that others can see. Because that's not a good mindset to have in the kingdom. It's really not, guys. It's got to be for the other, and that way you eliminate the stumbling block that is your mindset and get that out of the way. If you can be there for others in that way, you can accomplish anything in life, and you can do anything too, and go anywhere. Like I'm going to, like we're going. We're going places, guys. This train goes straight up, and it's just, how you reckon with the Lord and how you treat your day to day in relation to giving it to the Lord and receiving his grace. Pray that you don't get in the way of his grace for your free will's sake, because we all have this thing called inner man and inner woman, free will, that inner um, sanctuary, right? Well, we tend to want to like be possessive of that, thinking that, okay, this is going to, I'm going to rule the world. I'm going to be, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to have all this and this and that and this because of my imaginations. I'm envisioning this, so it's my imagination. The world is my oyster. And we actually go like that, as funny as it sounds, as I'm making it sound. I know, I apologize if I'm a little goofish, but you see my point. Like we should be there for the other. There should be an empathy. We don't have to be all 100% empathetic. We can weave in and out to do our own thing, you see. But when it comes to relations to other people, that's the horizontal arm of the cross. The vertical one is the true representative of God on earth, relationship, I mean. So pretending like you're God's little God with a lowercase g on earth is only going to get you so far. And I'm sorry if you're kicking that can down the road. And I really pray that you get out of that mindset and just see life for how it's meant to be lived and be there for others and be there for God within yourself and being for others and being for God. See, it all works hand in hand. It's just a token of coming down to what you sacrifice, how you can like not putting all your eggs in one basket when it comes to living for yourself. I think is kind of a good way of putting that. Because there is a trinity for a reason. There's parallels in life, right? And that's the top parallel of all things in life. Because these other relations between yourself and your fellow man or woman and yourself and God, well, they have relationships with God too. And that's kind of the triangulation effect. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to the Trinity, and the parallels, in life. But I guess I'm kind of meandering. I'm sure I'm kind of painting a picture for you at the same time. And I feel good too, which is why I want to keep doing this. And now I'm over 48 minutes. I might as well go ahead and we can do a breathing exercise, wrap up, with a prayer. Um, Ultimately, might have a little bit to talk about after we get the breathing exercise in, but I like to do that before and after as well as the prayer. So go ahead and uncross my natural pose is to cross my legs. Uncross yours if they're crossed, and uncross your arms. And yeah, we spoke a little bit about Lifewave. Nothing goes into your skin, just as a simple reminder. It is hypoallergenic, so the stickiness is even created and it's designed to stay attached to your body's skin, even through profuse sweating, like if you were performing, ladies or gentlemen, and you wanted to have that energy and drive and determination, concentration, focus all throughout the day. Whether if you're sitting in an office space, cubicle, or if you do outside work, God loves you either way you do it. So we wanted to make sure that your light is preserved and seeking your grace before that. Just as a quick, yeah, I think that's a good summary today. A couple quick breaths. Let's get recalibrated, mind and heart, body and soul. It will feel right as rain. Ready? Here we go. I feel a little lightheaded. That's okay. Slow down and it does it better. My favorite part. Oh God, thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you for this. Because you learn how to run that well-oiled machine is second to none. It's like God's giving you your own bird's eye view of the universe in a sense, right? In a sense. But it's like another one of those parallels, man. Or woman. So I think we did good today. If you guys like to leave me a comment, I'd sure like to show my appreciation for you and and get back in that search form of love. Remember to stay in that love vibration, even with enemies, even with things out there in the world. If you're praying for things, you don't have to control everything. We know there's strategic strikes going on. There's surgical maneuvers going on and have gone on already. I think have taken place for the most part until certain ones are not maladaptive to the way the world should go. Yeah, we are talking about the Middle East. I'm a former Navy man, and if, well, I don't know if I would want to go back in just for security's sake. And I don't know if I'm about that, but it's something to think about. And it's something I was relegated to thinking about before. Then I gave a second thought, it's like, did my service for a reason. I want to stay open to what God's avenues are for me and the corridors He wants me to walk down, the green meadows, He wants me to abide in. Um, so we'll go ahead and close with prayer. This has been wonderful, you guys. Oh, dear Jesus, thank you once again for letting us work out our differences with our natural man or woman and just really work out everything that we need to so that we can keep maintaining that light that you want to effervesce out there in the world for your kingdom and that light you want to keep putting out, Lord. We want to be we want to be foot shodden with the shoes of the gospel of peace. We want to have that breastplate of righteousness. We would like to make sure that we have the um, belt of strength, right, as it were. And this is all put together as the armor of God. And you put forth in your good words, for a good purpose, that this is something we should attain for. So we're asking you that in your grace. Naturally, I can't demand it of anyone, especially not you, let alone you, Lord. You know what's best for us, so we lay our hands in that manner in your ever abiding grace and in your strength and in your love. And I think that's well enough good. Thank you, dear Father, for your one holy, divine Son, Jesus. In His name we pray. And much love. Amen. Thanks for joining, guys. And this one's a little bit shorter. I guess I'm getting a little bit more condensed, but good for you. And go forward wisely, go forward in strength, go forward in integrity. Most important of all, go forward in love, because love is the root of all. God bless you. Thanks once again. Have a great, terrific day and rest of your week. God bless.